So as we lose the context of our identity, it becomes incredibly important that what you share becomes the context of shared narrative, becomes the context in which we live. The stories that we tell, what we push out, becomes who we are. People aren't simply projecting identity, they're creating it. And so that's the request that I have for everybody in this room. We are creating the technology that is going to create the new shared experience, which will create the new world. And so my request is, please, let's make technologies that make people more human and not less. Thanks.
Okay, you heard it right there. I thought that was relevant to play today on the beginning of today's show, and I'm going to get Bob's commentary. So without further ado, Bob, are you there?
Yes, good afternoon, James. Welcome back. Yeah, excellent clip, and yeah, he's listening to our show, or his aides are listening to our show. But the thing is that what he's describing is obvious. It's a source of humor, you know, the incongruity between the physical chemical body and the discarnate chip body. So look at the feeble aphorism or platitude he resolves it with. What did he say? Let's accept our new identity. Let's share. I don't know, whatever it was, but nothing to do with where perception goes. Perception should be looking at, not urging people how to adopt an attitude, but to look at the effects on previous older media. That's where you begin. You know, what happened to education? What happened to social welfare bureaucracies? What happened to the Bush image? What happened to the Al-Qaeda? What happened to television? What happened to money? So what was his final platitude? Like, we should all accept a new identity or something? What was it?
And so my request is, please, let's make technologies that make people more human and not less.
You see, that is the trend of the Android meme. That is what's causing a lot of problems, is that the Android meme is making technology more human, and that's why people don't care about your chemical body. It's more human in the discarnate state.
Right. No, he was showing during this presentation, it was interesting, he was showing visual evidence of these habitual patterns. You've heard me talk about it here in LA, about how, you know, you can't just have a meeting, a business meeting with people anymore. There's going to be everyone that they know in the room in that meeting, because, you know, as they're talking, the text is going to come, or the cell phone's going to come off, or whatever it is, and everything's interrupted.
Yeah, and I enjoy your observations on that, but that's not my point or emphasis. What would be more human? You know, when he says, let's try to make technologies more human, what aspect of human consciousness or being it would indicate more human? There's nothing more human than the Android meme, because that's why everybody's so seduced by it. They don't recognize it is already human.
Right.
You know, that's what McLuhan meant. He said the extensions of us. Media, not alien invaders. They are us.
Yep.
So, what is this guy? Is he a comedian or a high-tech guru? I don't know who he is.
Rennie is his name. He's like the head director of some advertising firm in New York City. And he's speaking before a crowd of, I don't know, looks like a couple thousand.
Right. He works for what was, McLuhan said, the greatest art form of the 20th century, advertising. It's not the greatest art form anymore. It is part of the blood circulation of the Android meme, feebly, in a feeble way. It's anemic. It's got AIDS. It's got immune deficiency. But I think we should play that clip. That should be, Buzz Coast will make that as a YouTube, and we need to make this, that's a great clip of what is not perception, is not getting, at least my point, my view is his direction where he's leading is antithetical to what I'm saying. He hasn't begun square one. He's still back in the 19th century, even though he's working with 21st century technology and advertising. You know, how do we make technology more human? That's ridiculous. First of all, we recognize that technologies are a humanization of us. Then what does it do to the old images of what technology made us think we're human? In other words, what older images of human we thought we were have been altered by this?